Rock on. Welcome, everyone. I tell you what, I'm glad you're here. This is Mark Galvin. I am the founder and president of ePresence, and we are here with our live version of our podcast, How's Your ePresence? I'm glad you're here. I just literally shut down from a webinar that I was doing with my friends at TBTA, Tennessee Business Travel Association. Back-to-back things going on. They were great people up there. I just want you to know for the record, awesome people. And spent some time with them, helped them out on LinkedIn. So it's good to be with you. I tell you what, driving across town. No, man, I didn't drive. I just had to hit a couple of buttons. Well, listen, whatever the case is, I'm glad to be with you guys. This is the show. What do we do here? We talk about business and social media. We talk about ways that you can do a little better job in leveraging your personal LinkedIn profile, your Facebook profile, what is going to impact you when it comes to social media. That's what we do. And I need a swig of water. I'm just telling you, I've been talking for an hour. So I'm a little parched. All right. So first things first, I'd love for you guys to help me out, please. You've joined me here on YouTube or Facebook. Please subscribe to the show. It helps us out tremendously when we get more subscribers. What it'll do, it helps us reach more people. It lets people know that are out there on the in the stratosphere on the internet that we have decent content. Plus, you could get a notification anytime we go live. So please do that if you wouldn't mind. So we've got some neat things that are going on here at ePresence. The first thing is that we are running webinars right now. So we're doing this during COVID-19 because there's so many people. Just today, I heard that Hyatt Hotels is laying off 1,600 people. So there's more and more people as this goes on that are going to need help on LinkedIn because this is the first time we've been through an economic crisis like we're going through now, where LinkedIn is going to be front and center. You've got to make sure that you have a profile that is kicking. You need a profile that is awesome. So how are you going to do that? Join us for a 1-hour webinar. In 1 hour, we go through the 5 steps that'll help you have the most potent LinkedIn profile you can. Our goal is to help you get to an all-star rating, and the higher rating you have on LinkedIn, the more search results that you'll have. More people, you'll show up in higher search results. So if somebody's looking for your title and it's built correctly, they're going to find you. So join us there. We do 10 slots of class. The reason I do only 10 slots is I want to be able to help out every single person in the room. The cost is just $37.50. It's $37.50, and we have a guarantee. The guarantee is simply this. Here's how confident I am that you're going to like this, that you're going to find a lot of value in it. If you don't like it, hit me afterwards. I'll refund your $37.50, and I'm going to pay you $20 for your time because your time's valuable. And if I'm taking time out of your calendar, I'll give you $20 back if you don't think it's worth your time. So there's the guarantee. Join us there. Here's how you can find us. Look along the bottom of the screen. The individual is epresence.me/webinar. epresence.me/webinar. You can go there. Or if you're a group, association, a society, you want to provide content for your groups, feel free to click on epresence.me/groups, and you can see the information that is there. Well, that is awesome. So what are we going to talk about today? We're gonna go through a little bit of news. The news we're going to hit today is that Facebook is trying to upset Zoom. Can Facebook do that? Can Facebook push Zoom out of their, I think that they are the leader for video conferencing right now. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about how you got to tell LinkedIn you're looking for a job. And if you're looking for a position, don't put it in your headline that you're open to new opportunities. That doesn't really help you. And the reason is you want to use that headline that shows right below your name for the search words that are going to gather in the people that want to hire you. So there's another way to share that on LinkedIn. I want to share that with all of you. Now, before I do all that, though, we have a rockin' guest, and I do mean we have a rockin' guest today. So I want to, I would like for all of you to join me in welcoming Aaron Morrison to How's Your ePresence. Aaron, rock on. What's going on, man?
Oh, just living the dream, brother.
I know you are. Hey, watch this. Look up over your head. Boom.
Oh,
wrong way. Look the other way.
Wrong way. Oh, there it is.
Aaron, you are with WyldFyre Dynamics. I've got your bio here, and I could read it, but it's boring. No, it's not. I'm kidding. It's not boring. You wrote it well.
Thanks, man. Like, come on.
Actually,
Come on,
it is really good. There's something you say in here that I think is awesome, and I used it in a little bit of the bailing, the billing for today, and that is: should you scale or should you bail? But that's kind of the cart before the horse. Tell me what you do at WyldFyre Dynamics, and share with everybody how we know each other.
Well, you and I know each other through networking at PowerCore. But that's kind of like just a small piece of it. I mean, we know each other, much more.
Don't say intimately. Don't say intimately.
I wasn't going to say that. That's what I was trying to find another word, work around that. So we know each other on a deeper level outside of PowerCore, right? So we've talked about a whole lot of things, nature of existence and all that kind of, metaphysical, existential type stuff. So at WyldFyre,
so I got to jump in here. Here's the deal. When I talk to you, we end up going deep. There's so many things that you share that's awesome. And I love to pick your brain. So, one of those things will happen. You guys know what it's like. You go out, you're at a networking event or something, and there's that one person you end up talking to and you can't stop talking to them. That's Aaron. Just saying.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm glad I'm finally in a group of people who appreciates that, because I've always been the type that wants to go deep, right? It's like, I don't want to talk about sports because I don't watch them. I don't want to talk about the weather because we already know what it is. It's like, I want to, like, what makes you tick, right? Like, why do you do what you do? Like, I'm all about what drives the behavior. And so that's kind of a good segue into what I do at WyldFyre is, my avatar is the successful entrepreneur. They've already overshot what their previous idea of success was. And now that they have, they're kind of taking stock of their situation, looking around, realizing they're not really fulfilled where they are. They're unhappy with the legacy that they have built, so to speak. It feels more like a comfortable jail cell. And it's like I was in that place of had built a business. I was doing about $500,000 in revenue per year as a solopreneur. And I was like, do I hire people? Do I tie myself to the business? Do I do something else because I'm not passionate about this? But I didn't know anything else. So I was scared to death to pivot, to make a change. And it's like, who wants to start all over after 20 years of doing the same thing, of building a reputation, building a brand, building the business and the clientele? Hard. And, but it was like, I just couldn't do it, Yeah. And so I feel like the main struggles that business owners face are a lack of clarity. Either they don't know where they're going, they don't know why they're going there, or they have a lack of belief either in their ability to execute and achieve those results, or in their deservedness, or that they deserve, what it is they actually want. So
that's awesome. Well, we're going to get in. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put me on the hot seat just for all of you. I'm going to sacrifice myself. We're going to do a little role play a little bit later. And he's going to roast me, but no, seriously, you're going to, what I want to do, all seriousness, is I want to share with you guys the awesome type of work that Aaron does. And so we're going to do a little role play after we get into the news. So rock on. The first thing we're going to do, Aaron, is, this, my audience knows this. You're the audience, if you will, in this case, as we go through news and questions. Weigh in, say what you want, give me your opinion on stuff, because we're going to go through a couple of things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go through some questions. So anyone, if you ever want to send a question in, just go to, you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Facebook, on Twitter, you can any place at ePresence MG. So that handle's good for everywhere. All of a sudden, I thought that submit or questions was misspelled. I've just been moving too fast. I just need to slow down. Those look good. So those are right. Here, I got a couple of questions. The first question comes from Kevin Sanders from Shaw Industries. Asked this question: what are the best practices to secure connections with key prospects clients? Now, I'll tell you something. Aaron, I think this is interesting. If I'm using LinkedIn as a prospecting tool, it's getting harder and harder to connect to people on LinkedIn that are not current connections that I may not know, and getting them to accept my connection, because people are getting a little more guarded. There's 680 million people on LinkedIn. Getting through to that prospect is a challenge. How do you do it? Now, if this was you, because I know you're a sharp guy, you are a quasi sales guy. You are. How would you do that?
Well, I mean, everybody's in sales, really.
Yeah, that's
all,
really true.
All of life is sales. I mean, getting your kids to go to bed on time, that's sales, So it's like these skills are useful everywhere in life. I feel where you're coming from, because like I get it too. You get the connection request, you click accept. The next thing you know, you're getting some cut and paste pitch in your inbox, right? Like,
bad news. You bet.
And you know that you're not the only one. Like,
I'm disconnecting from them. I swear to you, I'm getting those now, and they're all LinkedIn automation. What is LinkedIn automation? That is, there are systems out there, and some of them are just connected to Salesforce, that I can send a gazillion instant LinkedIn Messenger messages and send it. They'll customize whatever. I see them, and I am deleting them, and I may very well disconnect. I may break off the connection from that person.
Yeah. And I do the same thing, and it happens on Facebook. You get the friend request, immediately you get a sales pitch. Hey, can I give you this thing? And so my strategy is, and like I've heard business coaches talking about this for years. And the old adage used to be, we do business with people we know, like, and trust. And now it's we do business with people who are like us. And so people are starving for connection, right? Especially now with what's going on. So when I look at a profile, I'm looking at, what is their picture, right? What is their headline? What do they do? What's their bio? What kind of accolades and achievements do they have in their profile, right? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to identify common ground, right? I'm trying to identify something to bond over, because until you develop rapport with someone, you ain't selling them anything, right?
That's true. Like, bingo.
You have to, in sales, you have to earn the opportunity to have the conversation about selling them something, right?
So I shouldn't say this. So this is just between you and I, okay?
Shh.
Don't tell anybody this.
It's our secret.
I am a sucker for people that hit me on LinkedIn and they send a message to me and they say, hey, I just listened to your podcast. As a matter of fact, I've got a feeling that Kevin hit me, that I think he heard me on on a show I was on. He said, hey, great show. When someone says, I just listened to your show, and then they do something else, very important. They say, I just heard your podcast where you spoke to Aaron and you talked about connections on LinkedIn. They listened to the show. I'm going to respond. Why? Right. It really drills deeply into our human psyche, because we do want to be valued. How do you value someone through a LinkedIn connection? That's what you want to do. You've got to figure out a way you can connect to them. Best way to connect with someone. Let's say I don't know Aaron from Adam. Yeah. I don't know Aaron from Adam. And let's say he works at XYZ Corp. And I can call in, and he's a real hot target of mine. I'm going to call the sales department at that company. And I'm going to say, hey, do you know Aaron? Do you know Aaron Morrison? Yeah. Does he like sports teams? Well, who is this? And my name is Mark Galvin. I'm trying to send him a birthday present, or I'm trying to send him a present because he did something really cool for me, and I'd like to know something about him. So does he what's his sports teams like? Or what does he drink? Or what does he eat? Or what does he do with his free time? And I can get a little context. I can send you a connection request on LinkedIn. And if I reference one of those things, you'll be like, I'm going to take this connection. Because why? It's about you. It's not about me. I don't say squat about me. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start liking your posts. I'm going to start sharing content that focuses on you and maybe tagging you in it. And by doing that, I'm probably going to eventually get an opportunity to talk to you. So those are the things I can do. We could talk about this forever. This could be the whole show. We got to move on.
Sure.
But
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Little tease, a little bit of that. Here's the next question. This is awesome. Beth Hellberg. She's a director of events with NAFA, Texas. NAFA, Texas. That's not a city. NAFA, Texas. So her question is, this is awesome. What is the best way to be a stealth networker via LinkedIn and other virtual outlets while you are currently employed? More on this in the news. So we're going to talk some more about this in the news. But what's the best way to network? And I just alluded to one of them. The first is, if you're networking on LinkedIn and you don't want your current employer to know you're looking for a job, number one, everything you do should support your current employer, right? I'm going to tell you, your brand supports the current employer. So I would look at it from that perspective, number one, and realize by supporting your current employer, you're going to help you do better in the future, right? By being relevant, by being online, by showing that you understand this space, that's going to be good. But then you're supporting the company brand, you're doing what you need to, but you're not selling, you're sharing valuable content. Let's do this. Take your pad. Everybody's got your pad. Name your pad, whatever it looks like. So here's my pad. I put it right beside my monitor. I had to move it for my webinar, but I have it right by my monitor. Aaron calls me. He says, Galvin. He calls me Galvin. Galvin.
You call you Galvin, but I can jump on board with that.
That's right. Hey, how do I take a skills assessment on LinkedIn? And I go through and I tell them, and I'm going to write down that I got that question today, skills assessment. And I now have content I can share on LinkedIn. And I write this for a week. I just have a little pad. And by the way, your questions, the folks that are going to call you guys are going to ask you about your industry. And you share content about your industry, supporting your personal brand, making your networking by sharing content. Here's the other thing. I've already shared. How do you build contacts? Connect with people online by sharing value with them. And you're going to be able to do better networking online. Now, I got more that's going to come up here in the news, because one of the things that's important for all you guys to know is there's some stealth part of how do you build a LinkedIn profile and share that you're looking for a job without saying I'm looking for a job. But we're going to get into that. All right, man. What's in the news? Boom. Facebook is rolling out this brand new video feature. I don't know if you heard about this or not. This is pretty cool. So I think this is brilliant. You go into Facebook Messenger, and I can now do a video conference like Zoom, allegedly, right?
Yeah.
I've talked about this in my last show, and I'm bringing it up again because it ain't happening. I tried to get on to Facebook Messenger the other day and start, and I couldn't figure out how to do a link to say, okay, everybody, here's the link to join. I can't do that. What I could do is I could go in and hey, here, Aaron, join me. Stephanie, join me. Yeah. James, join me. Caitlin, join me. And I can bring everybody in that way, but you can't do business that way. I need to plan a meeting, send out a link, put it on the calendar like this one. So we're on StreamYard for this. Aaron had the link beforehand. He knew where to go. He knew where to meet me. You've got to be able to do that. You can't do that on Facebook. So until they solve that, that's there. The other thing is, I don't think they've really rolled it out fast enough. And there's a lot of us who don't have the capability. So I think that they announced it. I'm starting to wonder whether they were really ready. I still feel like once they get it there, they're not going to be able to knock off Zoom. And here's why. Zoom is just super easy. Yeah. The founder of Zoom focused on it being easy. And it's the easiest platform out there. And that's why everybody's using it. You get these cool backgrounds, right? Yep. So, and I know we're not on Zoom, but that is a smart thing. Nobody else is doing the backgrounds as effectively as Zoom is. All right. That's the news. I don't think so. There's my prediction. I don't think that we're going to see Facebook knock Zoom out of the lead. All right. So how do you say you're looking for a job on LinkedIn? This has come up a lot. And we talk about questions that are popping up on social media. And when people come and ask me, there's a lot of that going on. So I'm going to share my screen. This is the first time I've done this in the show. Let's see if this works. I go here. I got to go there. Screen one. Is that screen one? All right, here we go. Screen. And error. Okay. I can't see you anymore, Aaron. Tell me you can see my screen.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Right. I'm still here.
All right, so cool. So folks, here's what we do. You're going to go to the top corner of your profile. So you can see there's the me up there, right? I'm going to click me. I'm going to go to settings and privacy, right? Click that. And then the fastest way to get to where I want to go is just here on the left. You could page down, it's there, but we're going job seeking. So notice there's these four tiles, right, across the top. We're going to privacy. It defaults there. You're going to land there when you come here anyway. Click job seeking preferences. And then the first place I want you to look for is let recruiters know you're open to opportunities. Huge. You got to do this.
Wow.
Make sure this little toggle is on. All right. You want to say yes. Now, I always have it on yes, and here's why. I like recruiters looking at my profile. The reason is, this is so funny. This is a bit of a LinkedIn hack. I want people looking at my profile. The more people look at my profile, the higher I show up in search results. So that's why I have it on.
That's awesome. I'm going to go do that immediately after we get off this call.
So once you flip that on, this is what happens. This shows up on and now I'm looking at my profile. So this is what you see. I think I can use my pointer here. Can I? Yeah, this is cool. So here, this is the tile you're looking for. So you need to come over here and you need to press the little pencil bar. And when you click the pencil bar, you can start plugging in titles of jobs that you want. So let's start this from scratch. So I would like to be the CEO of Bell South. They're not around anymore. But anyway, so CEO, I'd like to be president. All right. So you plug in your titles, you select them. That's cool. Maybe I want to be the chief marketing officer. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. Where? I go and I plug in my location on here. So Atlanta, I'd also like to do this in Honolulu. So man, wouldn't it be cool to work? Yeah, I just, the foods there is expensive, but a beach outside I love it. Anyway, so there you go. You plug in your locations, then you say, what, do I want contract? You can list all that in here. You want full-time. And this is the big one right here. Click here. I only want recruiters to see this. I got a job. I don't want my boss to know I'm looking. So you say only recruiters. Now, if you are looking for a job, you're out of a job. So you say all LinkedIn members. Here's what happens. Sure. I'm going to show you guys an example. My good friend Bianca agreed that I could pull up her profile. And I want you to see a profile that has this on there that is not me. So this is what everyone else will see. So everybody, Bianca is looking for a job in one of these roles. I'm going to I can't highlight it. So let's do this. So here it is, vice president, distribution executive, blah, blah. You see all the words there? Everyone could see that. Now, if she did not want everyone to see that, she could turn that off and only recruiters would see that. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to come up here and put looking for an opportunity in your headline. These words are huge for search. So make sure you're putting what you do, have your title, have your skills, your search engine optimization words up there. All right. Rock on, man. Cool. That's all I got for news. What do you think?
I think that's some awesome stuff right there. Yeah. So just little shameless plug for your webinar. After I did your webinar from like week to week.
I did not pay him to do this.
No, he didn't, and it's totally unscripted. For the record, the very next week, I had a 400% increase in my views on LinkedIn. Full disclosure, I didn't have that many before the 400% jump, but it has gone up every week consistently after that, 10, 20, 30, 40%. So it's just on a constant incline. So yeah, like great stuff.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right.
My pleasure.
Here we go. Just you and I, nobody else. Nobody else is here. Right. It's just you and I are talking.
Right. We're here.
So I'm a little north of 50.
Okay.
I'm in this, I'm in a company, and I'm not feeling like I'm not being compensated like I want to be compensated. Right. Okay. Number one. And I'm a little nervous about the future. Quite frankly, I'm not feeling very secure in my role because of my age, maybe, right? Well, maybe hell, it is because of that. I am worried that I'm north of 50 and I'm not making the income that I want. And I come to you and I say, and I'm not sleeping at night. Dude, I am totally not sleeping at night. Every night I wake up at 3 a.m. worried that I could lose my job tomorrow. And hey, you know what? I might be furloughed right now. Right. I don't have, my company has said, Mark, go. We're gonna push you out of here for 6 weeks and bring you back in a little bit. And I can't sleep at night. So I run into you, and so you and I sit down and I tell you that.
Okay.
Go for it. How do I work through this?
All right. Well, just before we get into that kind of coaching conversation, right? Before I put that hat on, just from what you've told me, a few things jump out at me. Okay. So you feel like you're undervalued or underpaid at work, right? So we're going to dig into what the reason for that is, right? Where's that feeling coming from? Right. What are you doing at work, right? Are you doing everything that you could be doing at work? Because, how you do anything is how you do everything. So We're going to look at performance, job, description, all the things that you're doing. And then waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, that's all right. You're stressed out, right? So we've got a problem with anxiety. So first of all, we're going to address the problem with anxiety, but I'm going to ask you, what do you want, right? Before we do anything, first thing we have to do is determine what is the objective that we're trying to accomplish here. What is the outcome that you want? What do you want?
I want to make more money and feel comfortable in my job.
Okay, make more money and feel comfortable. Great. So what's holding you back?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, no, seriously.
What would it be?
What's holding me? Okay, here's what's holding me back is that I feel like the owner of the company, the general manager of the hotel doesn't like me. And I do feel like that the general manager of this hotel would like to replace me with someone else that may be younger. And hey, the GM walks into the office and I'm the director of marketing. The GM walks into the office and heads to one of my senior sales managers' office every time the GM comes in. Goes there first. I'm a little threatened.
Okay. So how do you know they don't like you?
They don't come to see me first. That's why.
Oh, okay. So when they don't come to see you first, that means that they don't like you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I read people well, for the record.
Is there another possible explanation for that? Maybe, they feel it's more, pressing to talk to that individual first. I mean, is it possible that there could be another explanation?
Well, I do think that the GM has more in common with that person. They do talk about a sports team all the time that I can't stand.
Oh, okay. So there's a common ground there that you don't share.
Right.
Okay. So it might not be that they don't like you. It might just be that, they have something to talk about that you don't necessarily have in common. Right?
True. Yeah.
So what we're doing here is we're reframing your kind of perspective around this interaction, right? So, if you feeling like the GM doesn't like you and that's creating friction and stress around the work environment, right? Then changing the meaning that you're giving to that behavior, could eliminate that anxiety, that feeling altogether. So, this is now we've dealt with the GM thing. Like you're saying that you're underpaid and underappreciated and you're worried about being furloughed, let go, what have you, right? Like, right. What is making you feel that way? Like what reasoning do you have for that?
Well, everybody's losing it seems like everybody's losing their job. I'm watching other hotel companies and they're when Hyatt's laying off 1,600 people, that worries me. I don't work for Hyatt, but I'm worried about that.
Okay.
Our industry is getting killed right now. Just nobody's staying in the hotels. So it's daunting.
Nobody except frontline workers, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, I can understand that, right? I get that. That feeling of kind of uncertainty, right? So the question is there something that you could be doing that you're not doing now that could make you more valuable and indispensable to the organization?
Yeah, I think. Okay. What if I don't know the answer to that? What if I'm really at my wit's end? What if I'm so stressed out that I can't think clearly?
Okay. Well, then we're going to examine what's the cause of the stress.
Okay. So we'll drill into that piece, right?
Right.
Because you've said something to me before, and this is a little out of character now. We're kind of jumping out of our roles, but stress can keep me from thinking clearly. True?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so stress is keeping me up at night. I can't think clearly. And because I'm not thinking clearly, I may lose creativity. And you know what? Problem solving is creativity, period. Right. So I've got to figure out how to solve that stress. And you can help me tease that out. So owning my own company, and you and I have talked about this, owning your own company is stressful. And I'll tell you, there are certainly times that I go, holy moly. I had a lot of people who canceled their marketing services with us because, all right, we got to cut these lines and that was cut. That's going to happen, right? So that causes stress. And so those are sort of things. So you and I could talk about this and I could say, this is the deal. Sure. And so what did I do is I had to go from looking at this to say, okay, I need to create other revenue streams. I started looking at what revenue streams are more durable. And so trying to create more control. But to me, I think this is interesting, and we're officially at 30 minutes, for the show. And I like to keep it around 30 minutes. I think this is fascinating, and teasing out this information. You've said to me before that you can help people in one session. Is that right?
Oh, absolutely. I do it all the time.
That's unbelievable. You're not like a chiropractor. I don't have to come to see you for 3 years.
Well, I mean, if you're coming to see me for 3 years, then you've got a lot of problems in your life, right?
Well, I do, but
I guarantee I work with my clients until they get the result they want, and I feel like I should be able to do my job as a coach, right? And I'm not like the traditional coach of focusing on the behaviors that drive the results. Yeah. I focus on the programming and the unconscious mind that drive the behaviors.
Right.
So there's a whole, deep conversation to get into, but no, you're not going to see me for 3 years. You're going to see me a session. We're going to determine, right? Does this make sense? Where are you? Where do you want to go? What do you need to get there? And is it a good fit for us to work together? So,
do this. Tell me how people can find you. And I'm gonna plug it in as we go here, because I'm gonna add this to the screen. Where's the best place for people to track you down online?
The best place, honestly, is I've got a landing page set up on my homepage, WyldFyreDynamics.com, and you can literally go to the web address, click on the link to book a call with me, and just boom, right there, right on my schedule, get a 30-minute call and talk about whatever the heck is going on.
Is that right?
You got it. That's it.
WyldFyreDynamics.com. Best place to track Aaron Morrison down. Aaron, I tell you what, I love this conversation. We're going to drop this on not just on YouTube and Facebook, and we put on the show notes. And so all of his contact information will be down there once we publish this. And so we'll drop in his Facebook, his company page, his LinkedIn profile. He's got a LinkedIn company page. Rock on. That's good stuff, man. And so if I am not able to, so do you do this online, or do I have to be face-to-face?
No. Almost all of my work is over the phone. Occasionally I do Zoom. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, so that's good news. So if somebody wanted to connect with you and they're not here in our neighborhood, so to speak, you can help them out with that. Here's the thing. This is what I like about Aaron is that a lot of us think, okay, I'm dealing with the stress and I got to handle it. Well, it might be good to work through those things and come up with solutions versus just letting that stress just build and build and build. So, well, that's good stuff. Aaron, thanks for being here. I love the feedback. I love what you've got to share. That's good stuff. Look for the show notes, folks, and you'll be able to see more information about Aaron. All right, my friend. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks
for having me, man. I enjoyed it. It's a fun time.
All right, brother. Peace. So for the rest of us, I wanted to share some quick information. And I'm going to tell you what, I really am impressed with Aaron. I would reach out to him on WyldFyre Dynamics, that website. He's got some great things that he can do to help some of us out, and it's stressful times. It's the reason I brought him in. Some of you may be going through some challenges where you wish that things weren't so up in the air. How about that? So please do reach out to him. So what do we do at LinkedIn? What do we do here at ePresence? So I just want to quickly share, ePresence is a social media agency. We manage personal, company, collegiate social media. We help kids coming out of college get on, have a professional social media profile. We do consulting. We do these webinars. If you're a group and you would like for us to join you, love to help you at your groups. I put that banner there at the bottom so you can see how to reach us. We'd love to help you with that. If you're watching this show and you go to our website, epresence.me/how's your ePresence. So epresence.me/how's your ePresence. You will get a 5% discount on all of our services. So go there and check that out. Now, hey, listen, this is important. Back to here. Please subscribe. Look below. Click that subscribe button if you will. Follow us on YouTube. It will help us reach more people. We want to make sure that we're getting the word out on the type of work that we're doing here at ePresence. If you're a podcast listener, we drop this on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, even your Amazon Echo. My kids always laugh at me. The Echo's playing How's Your ePresence in the kitchen, and they're always giving me grief. Dad, why are you listening to yourself? No, I'm just kidding. I listen to myself because it helps me figure out how to do this better, because it's a great way to self-critique yourself. We're always adding content every single week. We do news updates. Eric Welch, our social media director, will join us oftentimes, and we'll go through what's going on in the news. We've had so many great guests. We haven't had him on in a while. Sorry, Eric. We need to get you back on soon. But check out any podcast, look for How's Your ePresence, and you'll be able to track us down. Or you always go to our website, epresence.me. That's epresence.me, because it's all about you. Don't go to .com. Well, that's it. Until next time, for my guest, Mr. Aaron Morrison, this is Mark Galvin, and this has been How's Your ePresence?